The most dangerous mistake a team can make is thinking they've already got it all figured out. And right now, the Cleveland Browns are flirting with that exact trap. The front office is leaning on hype and patchwork fixes, while seasoned veterans are still out there waiting for one phone call. But that's not all. What are they hiding about the quarterback battle? Who's actually going to take the reins in 2025? And if you think the rookies are going to save this franchise, you might want to brace yourself. Things are about to get rough. Welcome to Game Time News, the only place that reads between the lines and shows you what's really on the line in Cleveland. Picture this: an offense with David Njoku, Harold Fannin Jr., and Noah Fant. Could be a three-headed monster, or the beginning of a quiet revolution in how the Browns run their offense. Because while fans are fired up about Fannin, the explosive tight end from Bowling Green, there's another name floating out there, and he might be the missing piece. Noah Fant, former Seahawk and first-round pick in 2019, is still unsigned. And here's the kicker: he's cheap. Dirt cheap, considering what he brings. Strong, reliable, solid blocker. Dangerous on short and intermediate routes. He's the kind of under-the-radar addition that can quietly flip an average offense into something unpredictable. Analyst Jacob Roach dropped the bomb. The Browns need to make a move on Fant. And he's not the only one saying it. Fans are starting to push the front office because this is the type of move that's smart, calculated, and comes with minimal risk. Fant's never had quarterback stability, and even then he flashed the kind of raw talent that made him a 2019 standout. Put him in a system that leans into heavy sets and two tight end formations, and you might just unleash something dangerous in Cleveland. Here's the part nobody wants to admit. David Njoku hasn't re-signed. He's heading into the final year of his deal. That means the front office might already be preparing, quietly, for life after Njoku. And that changes everything, because Fant wouldn't just be a plan B. He'd be a hedge, a future-proof piece at a bargain price. Now, think strategy. O-line gave up 66 sacks last year, still recovering. QB room is chaos. Adding a tight end who can chip, block, and give your quarterback a second to breathe might be the difference between survival and disaster in the trenches. Fant gives you that. Some fans might say, but we've got Fannin. Why add another tight end? Simple. Depth, security, flexibility. The NFL punishes teams that don't plan ahead. If the Browns are serious about leaving mediocrity behind, this is the kind of move big-time teams make, and they don't hesitate. Fant is on the market. The only question now is, are we going to let him walk? Because if someone else grabs him and he blows up, it'll be another move the fan base never forgives. 4 quarterbacks. One big mess, zero room for error. That's the harsh reality for the Browns as they head into 2025. And while fans argue online about who should start, a quiet report just exposed what's really going to decide this quarterback battle. And it's got nothing to do with name recognition or past accomplishments.
NFL.com's Judy Battista made it clear. The job will go to the guy who processes the game fastest and protects the ball under pressure. It's not about arm talent. It's about brains, poise, commanding the offense, and surviving the ghosts still lurking around that offensive line. With Watson out indefinitely after another Achilles injury, the Browns are going with a quantity over quality approach. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders are all in the mix. But let's be real, it's really down to two. Batista said it herself, consistency is king. And right now, that favors Flacco and Pickett. Flacco knows the playbook, took this team to the playoffs, and he proved with the Colts last season that he's still got some juice. Pickett, meanwhile, came in for a fifth-rounder. High upside gamble, giving him a legit shot to prove himself makes sense. On paper, at least. Now about the rookies. Gabriel and Sanders show promise, sure, but throwing either one behind a line that gave up 66 sacks, that's a career killer waiting to happen. Just toss a rookie into the fire and hope for the best. Not in this league, not with this line. But here's the kicker. Even with 4 options, none of them feel like the guy. It's like the Browns are hoping someone magically rises from the fog, that a hero just appears. But football doesn't work on blind faith. It works on preparation, discipline, smart calls. So what's the plan? Stick with Flacco's stability? Roll the dice with Pickett's mobility, or speed up the rookie's development and throw the whole season into chaos. Preseason is going to be a war zone, and one wrong decision could tank 2025 before week 1 even kicks off. Nothing stings like watching hope turn into doubt before the season even starts, and that's exactly what's happening with 2 rookies who were once seen as franchise saviors. Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders arrived in Cleveland carrying sky-high expectations. But now, reality's settling in, and it's not being gentle. Christopher Knox at Bleacher Report dropped the hammer. Neither Gabriel nor Sanders is viewed as a franchise quarterback. Worse, they're being labeled low-risk, low-reward projects. And he didn't hold back. Knox flat out said that if either one was the answer, they wouldn't have lasted until day 3 of the draft. Harsh, maybe unfair, but for a lot of people, it's just putting into words what the front office already knows and isn't saying out loud. The Browns have 2 first-rounders in 2026. If they're eyeing a top-tier QB next spring, giving these 2 refs now isn't just smart, it's calculated. But what does that mean for 2025? Are we turning the whole season into a lab experiment? Testing guys under live fire just to gather data? Conflicted. Fans want growth, yes, but they also want wins. That's the dilemma. Start Flacco or Pickett, you compete. But if the season slips away, those rookie chants are going to get loud, and they'll be justified.
Shadur, especially, is carrying a huge emotional load. People had him pegged as a top 5 pick. His fall to the 5th round sparked outrage, wild theories, heated takes. But now it's time to face the facts. He's raw. He's a long-term project. Throwing him into the fire now? That's not fair. Not to him, not to this team. And Gabriel? He might be the most overlooked QB in this class. Smart, accurate, cool under pressure, but is that enough to be a starter in the NFL? History says no, but every year someone beats the odds. Could this be his year? Here's the bottom line. The Browns need answers. Fast. The quicker they figure out what these rookies can and can't do, the clearer their 2026 draft strategy becomes. Because the last thing you want is to walk into next year's draft unsure about the most important position in football. This is it. The season that could shape the next 5 years of Browns football. No more empty gambles. No more repeating mistakes. This moment demands bold thinking, long-term vision, and above all, decisions that respect the intelligence of this fan base. Whoever's calling the shots needs to understand this city's done waiting on promises. It wants action. If this front office truly wants to change the narrative, they'll have to prove it with every move, every play, every quiet decision behind closed doors. Because patience has run out, and the clock is already ticking.